We're back here on the show getting set for Bellator 151, which is coming up next Friday night from Thackerville, Oklahoma. Main card airing at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Spike TV. It's going to be headlined by Bantamweight's Joe Warren and the man that joins us now, one of the most decorated wrestlers to come into mixed martial arts, Darrion Caldwell. Darrion, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. A lot of people are looking forward to this fight, Darrion. And going into your first main event, are you approaching this any differently? And being in such a high-profile position, and there's a lot being placed on your shoulders, a lot of people looking at you with such an incredible high upside in this Bellator bantamweight division.
Well, for me, it's the bigger the lights, the bigger the night. So I'm just going out there to shine, baby.
When were you first made aware of Joe Warren? Does this go back to your wrestling days and being aware of his past credentials and moving over to mixed martial arts? How long has Joe Warren been someone you've been aware of?
Since my collegiate wrestling career, I knew Joe being a world champ, in the sport that I grew up in, and so he's always been a guy who I looked up to and respected. So to have an opportunity to fight a guy like Joe is just a dream come true, man.
There's so many wrestlers, and it seems that many have looked at mixed martial arts as this great avenue to continue that competitive career, and others who they'll watch it and it's not for them. What was it for you that made mixed martial arts so attractive and something that you wanted to pursue after your collegiate days?
Well, being a wrestler, I'm so used to the one-on-one competitive and not being able to point my finger at a guy and everything being on me. So I've always took a liking to the sport of mixed martial arts and just the whole persona that it brings,
When you opted to go to North Carolina State, what was the decision process of going there, and what was the recruitment process like for Darrion Caldwell? Was this a tough decision when you were picking where you were going to go and continue into college?
Well, North Carolina State, the moment I touched campus, I fell in love. It was a lot different than I grew up at in New Jersey, the city, as opposed to North Carolina, which is pretty country out there. So it was definitely something out of my comfort zone, and I'm a guy who's very comfortable being uncomfortable. So it matched up really well.
And how would you compare the environment? You train out of Pinnacle MMA. Tell us a bit about the people you work with there and why that particular gym is such a good fit for you. Are there a lot of parallels between the locker room you had in college and now training at a gym like Pinnacle?
Well, I'm training for this fight here at Power MMA.
Oh, you're at Power for this one. Okay.
Yes, Power presents all the same things that the college wrestling room presents. It's a bunch of hard-working guys who their heads are down and they push forward, and to have guys like that around me is something that I'm used to, and something that just presents itself so well. These guys are great guys here at Power MMA, and I couldn't ask for a better team around me.
Is Power now going to be your home gym? Is this home for you now?
Yeah, Arizona's home. For me right now, where I'm at in my career, I'm under Aaron Simpson. Aaron Simpson is my head coach. He's everything that you need in a coach. He's confident. He knows exactly where to put you at, where to put you in the fight, to win each position. So everything is good.
Was there any concern when you heard that Marcus Gavrils was ill? He had to pull out of his fight with Eduardo Dantas. You see Joe Warren, he's campaigning for that fight. This fight is all intact, correct? And there's not going to be any changes that you've been told? No,
me and Joe will be fighting March 4th. You got to expect that from two guys that happened before. They were scheduled to fight in October, and one of them backed out. So it's not something that came as much of a surprise. The day before is a little weird, but you got to expect it. I don't think those guys really want to fight, so me and Joe are going to make a statement and show why we're the best two 135ers in Bellator.
What were some of your conclusions about last week's card? It's been discussed very much, the Bellator 149 event. It was the biggest audience that Bellator ever had. I know that you watched it. What are some of your conclusions from watching that card and that style of matchmaking that it's clear it appeals to a large fan base?
I think it's very entertaining. Bellator does a great job at putting together the fights that the fans want to see, and as well as putting stars, future stars, and guys like myself right around it. So I think it brought a lot of attention to my fight come March 4th, and I couldn't ask to be in a better position.
Is there a part of you that wishes this fight was on that card and seeing the millions that watch this, or do you like the fact that you guys get your own main event on March the 4th and getting that focus?
I'm happy with where I'm at right now. Whether it's one person watching or 2 million, 3 million watching, I'm going to get the job done, and I'm going to handle business. And soon the world is going to want to watch the Wolf fight. So after this fight, I'm pretty sure the viewers are going to skyrocket.
As you look at this fight with Joe Warren, would you agree this is the biggest fight of your mixed martial arts career? Are you approaching it as such, or are you one that just looks at every fight as the biggest fight?
This is definitely the biggest fight of my competitive career in anything that I've done. Joe's a two-time world champ in 145 and 135. And not only that, he's also a world champ in wrestling, in the sport that I love and I grew up doing. So competing against a guy like Joe is just a dream come true.
As you look, not looking beyond Joe Warren, but many people are going to feel you are ready for a title fight if you are to beat, as you mentioned, a multiple-time champion in Joe Warren. Do you feel that at the level you're competing at now that you can go in there, you can hang with any bantamweight in the Bellator organization?
I know I can hang with any bantamweight in the world, in any organization, and I'm going to go out there and prove it on March 4th.
What was your reaction when Aljamain Sterling re-signed with the UFC? Because there was starting to build up a lot of interest here of Darrion Caldwell and Aljamain Sterling. Were you a little disappointed that he ended up staying with the UFC?
I think that was the best thing he could have did for himself. If he wants to keep that unblemished record, then that was the best thing he could have done.
You think that Darrion Caldwell would be a massive roadblock that Aljamain Sterling would not be able to get past?
I will break his neck.
I love the confidence out of you, Darrion. I think a lot of people, this is a fight that I think everyone is going to be, whether they're seeing Darrion Caldwell for the first time or just have been following, this seems like it's a giant platform for yourself. Is it any different than a lot of other fights in terms of just the added things, the media obligations, whether it comes to just different things that come with being a main eventer? Are you finding this different in any sense, or is it relatively similar for you at this point? You're used to this kind of thing.
It comes with the territory, and it's something that I've wanted, and I know that the higher I climb up, the more it's going to be. So I'm just preparing myself, and this is just small fish. It's going to be bigger fish to fry.
Tell me a bit about the weight cut for you, getting down to 135 pounds. Bellator is experimenting with something for this week's card in the state of Kansas, where fighters are going to be given the option of weighing in earlier in the day so that they're more properly hydrated come fight time. There's a lot of different experiments out there when it comes to weight cutting, but for you yourself, tell us a bit about fight week and getting down to that weight for yourself. Is it a pretty arduous process?
No, I walked out of workouts today at 144. So making 35 is not a big deal for me. I think what Bellator is doing is awesome. It's a rule that's going to benefit the fighters. If commissions want to take away guys cutting weight and stop them from cutting so much weight, or IVs or whatever these fighters are doing, then there should be a longer period of time to recover and re-energize and just get back to feeling your normal self. So I think this is a rule this is something that's going to benefit the fighters. I think Bellator is hitting on something. I think they've done a great job at catering to the fighters more than any other organization. So I think this is awesome.
Going back to your days, especially at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, were you close at all with Chaz Betances, who has now moved over to a different avenue of professional wrestling? Did you two cross paths a lot at all, or no?
Yeah, I know Chaz. Chaz is the man. He's a good guy. He's a Greco guy. I was a freestyle guy. We crossed paths, in the cafeteria and in the wrestling room, but he's just all around good guy, and I didn't know he's professional wrestling now, but that's pretty cool to hear, man. It's just a testament to all the hard work that he's done, and just another outlet for stud wrestlers to really make money and not have to fucking, excuse my language, but
no, that's fine.
Not have to scrape the scrapes off the sides doing camps and whatever it may be. They can focus on their careers.
Take us into Friday night. We're obviously going to be tuning in to watch this, Darrion, but what's going to be going down Friday night as you envision this fight? I know that you have very high expectations for yourself. What are we going to see on Friday night from Darrion Caldwell? Because this is a giant opportunity for you, and many people feel it's going to be the coming out party for one Darrion Caldwell.
You're going to see Joe Warren, stiff as a board, baby, first round KO.
It's going down Friday night, March the 4th, 9 Eastern on Spike. Darrion Caldwell, Joe Warren, really big fight at 135 pounds. Thank you very much for this time, Darrion, and all the best going into fight week and on Friday night against Joe.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.